Hi, everybody.
Your role?
Today I'm going to introduce a lady named Leah Davis.
Did you get that?
She's been a body-mind integration therapist for the past 25 years. She's clinically certified in many therapeutic disciplines for the past 25 years, such as being a International Academy of Holodynamics advocate, Master Teacher of Integrative Energy Therapy, a Cosmo Vitality Well-Being Practitioner and Facilitator of the Melchizedek Method, an Advanced Ancient Wisdom Future Sciences Transformational Healing Modality which supports optimal health by providing revitalization, cellular activations to the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, etheric, and causal bodies. So, without further ado, I present Leah Davis.
Okay. Well, I'm only going to be talking about the science of consciousness. Here is conscious. We all know what consciousness is. It's such a vast topic. So let me just, we can't possibly understand it all or explain it all in one little session, so I'm not going to try. I'm just going to talk about it, so we'll all have a conversation about it. And I would like you guys to interact and ask questions and contribute, because you're part of it. You're creating it. We're together here creating it. That's what consciousness is. So let's just be conscious players. So that's what this is all about, having fun. So with that in mind, I have a couple of songs that I've pre-recorded, and this is one of them. You could play the first song, and it's a song that I recorded with Tandon Elmer's. He's a prolific songwriter who wrote Along Comes Mary. You might have heard that song in the 60s. Well, this is one of his songs, and he's going to play it. And these are the lyrics so you can follow along, so you can play along, all right? Maybe I'll sing a little too, along with it. Don't try to understand the whispers. I gently breathe into your ears. When you're so close beside me, my eyes are pulled apart, and I get high. Don't say there's methods to my madness. I'm just this way with you. Each time you touch and hold me, there's something inside me flips, and I get high, 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 high on the banks of my stream of consciousness, high over mountain, peaceful happiness. And when you talk with me, and every time you walk with me, it blows my mind. Walk with me. It blows my mind. Walk with me, both of you. Walk. All right. Who wants to walk with me? Walk with me. That's it. Walk. Our walk is what life and consciousness is all about. Your spiritual walk, your life. That's it. Thank you. Thanks for walking with me. So that's part of the game. So what's it going to take to get all of you in the game? What's it going to take? What's it going to take to get us out of our box and get high on the banks of stream of consciousness? Peaceful happiness. And every time you walk with me, it blows my mind. Don't tell me I'm unusual now. I wouldn't be another way.
The words aren't big enough to read.
Oh, they're not?
That's correct.
Can you hear it?
I can hear it, but I'm bad on hearing. So
Seem excited. It's only 'cause you're sitting there. something inside me tingles like butterflies inside my mind. High, high on the banks of my stream of consciousness, high over mountains of peaceful happiness. And when you talk with me, and every time you walk with me, it blows my mind. Come on, let's dance. I know you want to do it. I know you want to dance. I know you got it in you. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it. Feel it. Feel it in your gut. Feel it in your heart. Feel it in your bones. That's what it's all about. Consciousness. Feels good, right? All right, let's go to the next one. Oh, well, this one is just lots of music and it keeps going and it never ends. High over a mountain. There you go, thank you. In the dance, you're dancing. That's it. And every time you walk with me, it blows my mind. Don't rescue me from this predicament. Oh, can't walk around?
You can't go into the crowd.
Where can I go?
Because the speakers will feed back, we have to turn you down.
Okay.
So we don't feed back. We're gonna have to ask you not to go that far in the crowd.
Okay.
Go in front of the speakers.
All right.
Back like this.
All right.
Yeah, so you stay close to the front, keep your voice up and everybody can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's keep moving. Here's a few of some old attempts to try to understand consciousness. Oh, can I have some water? Can I have some water from somebody? Yeah. These are Freudian from all the different philosophies that have been around. Oh, thank you. It's hard to see. I guess I didn't realize it would be that little. But some people thought that consciousness was in the brain, the ego, the conscious, the superconscious. Well, we know it's a lot more than that. This is just the tip of the iceberg. You got unconscious, subconscious, preconscious. Your physical health and vitality is the tip of the iceberg. We want that to be the optimal. Consciousness, what I say, what I do, what I think, perceive, and feel. Preconscious, our feelings, our thoughts, and memories, and something, our awareness. Subconscious, our fears, our loss of abandonment, the drives to love and belonging. The hurt and the rejected child within, acted upon but not normally conscious of it. Sometimes we might have those little beings inside of us that are shy, or that little child within that wants to be loved. And then the unconscious, that deep, deep archetypal drive that we unconsciously seek to actualize in this life. Drives for self-actualization, universal meaning, our soulmate, the gender roles we play, all the other roles we play, the parental roles. That's what it was before. And now, some other people have said the science of holodynamics is not it. Hologrative psychology has used a model that is similar to holodynamics, but it's not that. But some people have tried to model it like this. They put pure consciousness there, and they go through the subtle phases, and they talk about perception, how perception matters. I'm here as an advocate for the International Academy for Holodynamics. I've been studying with Dr. Vernon Wolf for 20-something years. And what he says is that we live in a conscious universe where everything is connected and every situation is driven by its potential. And can everybody read that? So I don't have to reread it. You could just read it and I could talk about something else. Can you back there? Well, every person has a full potential self. the I that is connected to the hyperspace and serves as a source of character and meaning to every experience. Holodynamics is the study of the whole dynamic of life. That's what the whole dynamic comes from, holodynamics. So the whole dynamic of life includes every aspect of understanding life, including the tools to transform your life. That's the big funny one. And positively affecting your relationships, your work, your love life, and in the larger sense, the global environment. Holodynamics views reality as a coherent, dynamic, living holographic information system whose structure, from the micro, the smallest, to the largest, macro, is intimately connected with human consciousness. Consciousness is considered a prime condition of the holodynamic universe, and it is not limited to a single space-time continuum, but emerges from parallel dimensions into a coherent potential for each individual, the fully potentialized self. This personal potential manifests as a quantum potential field within the microtubules. That's interesting, of every living cell of the human body, and underlies all bodily functions, including the mental and social functions. So it's quantum because it's not really, it's hyperspatial from the hyperspatial cosmic dimension, but it's in our microtubules in every cell of our body. That's what was discovered with holodynamics. That's why it makes it really interesting how we could work in this field. It's based on the most current sciences available on the planet today, and it's geared to teach the application of multiple dimensions, hyperspatial counterparts, and genetic codes to transforming your personal consciousness and assisting you with the transformation of your collective consciousness. Collective consciousness, is everybody familiar with that term at all? Anybody? Yes. Okay. Collective consciousness is every single one of us together. We make up the collective. If individualized, we have our own input. The whole is the collective, and that's constantly moving and growing and expanding and shifting, and it's always shifting with our intentions. So, and it's just shifting with our state of health, our mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health. And that transcends all space-time because it goes into the causal dimensions, which is back in the history of our genetics. So that's what makes it interesting. The purpose of I want to tell you that holodynamics, I want to help you to encourage you to take this on yourself and further study holodynamics, because there's 5 courses available for all different interests that you might be having. And the purpose of all the courses and texts of the International Academy of Holodynamics are to provide you with the tools to fully potentialize your life and the lives of others. About 100% of all the Russian scientists in Russia are quantum scientists. And you know why? Because they've all learned holodynamics. There's an International Academy of Holodynamics in Russia that has been key to doing things on the planet, changing the Cold War, doing a lot of things with the wall, breaking down the wall. So a lot of people have transformed what they call the Holodynes, the information systems that are in our microtubules, in our cell. In each cell, we have a microtubule. Every cell has microtubules in them. So, and the microtubules are the ones that affect our body, our life. They get the information and they tell the cell what to do, and then the cell then in turn tells us what to do in our physical life and mental, emotional, spiritual life. That's why we are how we are, what we do. So it's all connected. So you'll see how they all connect in many ways. And I brought another song to help you understand it easier. It's easier to understand it with music and words and just fun. I invented a man named Captain Funky Phantom. He's can you imagine what it would be like if we had a phantom, well, you call a good phantom, who would come and teach us all the codes. This is what we all here to do, right? Learn the codes, learn the keys to life. That's why we're, coming to TeslaTech conferences so we can learn everything. Well, Captain Funky Phantom taught one community, and he created a new breed of humanity. So you could go ahead and play Captain Funky Phantom and experience Captain Funky's lessons and codes. Oh. Captain Funky Phantom's on the face rail. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. This town, this town with the Funky Phantom must have, it played earlier. Okay. All right. Oh, here. Can't see that. Oh, well. Okay, let's just stop it. We'll do it another. You'll have to just buy the CD, okay? It's all right. I was trying to give it to you, but I guess let's go to the next one. How about the next one? Rockabye Baby. Well, that's when we have problems in life and when something happens that we don't like, all we got to do is stimulate and activate the higher self. You can play that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, now. Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's you. Because you all have a heart of gold. Especially you. I wonder how it works here. The laser. I'll use the laser now. Here. The green laser. How far out can I go? No. Can you hear those words? Can you hear those words?
Yeah, but you gotta sing with them.
And if the bow breaks, stimulate and activate. If the bow breaks, integrate the higher self. If the bow breaks, stimulate and activate. If the bow breaks, stimulate the higher self. How does that feel? How does that feel to integrate the higher self? Okay.
touch.
Okay. To believe. So rock-a-bye, baby, high on the treetops, rock-a-bye, baby blue. And when the wind blows, the cradle will fall.
To do a pantomime.
Oh, okay.
Rockabye.
Oh, the cradle will fall. Life can sometimes be cruel. Oh, rock-a-bye, baby, high on the treetops, rock-a-bye, baby blue. Heart that's made of gold. Everybody's got a golden heart, right? You know. So rock-a-bye, baby. Yes. Rock-a-bye. Oh, rock-a-bye, baby. So rock-a-bye, baby, 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 rock-a-bye, baby. Go ahead and play the very next song. Wow, that's Rockabye Baby. Now, you know what? I was going to play the other song, but I don't think I will. Circular motion is all about life being a circus. And we all know that already, and life is a circus. You can play part of it, and then we'll go on to the next song. We won't play the whole song, okay? Because if you can imagine, everybody's an animal here. If there was a real circus in here, and we were all animals, and we were all part of it, and we're just playing in the circus, and there's jugglers, and there's people that are screaming and jumping around and being clowny. That's what our life is. It's a circus. That's what our consciousness can be sometimes, is a circus. And sometimes all we need to know is we're swinging from left to right on the trapeze. Our emotions are swinging all the time, laughing and crying. There's no more denying the circus is always in town. All souls in the circus with one divine purpose, though scattered illusion is found. Right? Isn't that what we are?
So you can ask somebody to be a tiger
Okay.
or a panda
Yeah.
or a wolf.
Okay.
Ask a guy to
What do
be a
you
wolf.
want to be? What? Think about, feel it. What animal are you? What do you want to play? What role are we playing? Feel it. Be it. Love plays a melody, a mystical melody, when clinging to life by a thread. Quantum equations, perplexing relations, give knowledge and wisdom widespread, right? Quantum equations, you all got those.
So who's going to be a snake?
So what animal are you? Feel the animal you are. Feel it in your heart. Who's the balancing act? It's not easy, in fact. There's a thread of love holding the key. But one spark of light holds the focus in sight when emotions swing on the trapeze. Now the emotions, God, those dumb emotions, they always get in our way. They get in our way. What are they doing? Sometimes they're just there when we could be doing over here. But we're masters of majesty, piercing through travesty, and jugglers add joy to the sound. Circular motion employs a devotion when teamwork and unity is found. So the teamwork and the unity, that's it. That's all. There you go, the circular motion. Our cells are all circles. Our atoms are circling, holding on to one pure love. Round and round, holding on to one love, one true love, one pure love, profound. Round and round. That's it. Circular motion. The atoms, the electrons, everything. The cells. We want them to be optimal. Round and round. Cycles of life. Thank you. Thank you. So Holodynamics gives us 6 courses on how to integrate the knowledge of holodynamics so that we can process out of our holodynes those emotions that swing us on the trapeze of life. And it's a really great course because you can take it step by step from smallest to biggest, and you can really process those things out of your historical life that really just help you to access and master all the multiple dimensions, the holographics, hyperspatial counterparts, holodynes and consciousness, and the application of all the new sciences into your personal life management. So it's all about unfolding your potential. And since information organizes from smallest to bigness, that's what we're doing. And we understand that it's in the microtubules, and it's quantum and holographic in nature. And when we identify specific information patterns, those that are controlling our behavior, that's the holodynes. And we can understand how to potentialize them. And when we potentialize the holodynes, then we're evolving to our fullest potential so that we can best serve ourselves and the greatest for all humanity. And that's what we're all here for. That's what you're here for. I know you are. I know each and every one of you are, because you wouldn't be learning all this stuff if you didn't care. You really didn't care. You really do care. I know it, and you have so much knowledge and so much information, and you want to apply it, and you want to do something great and grand with it. So this is what will help, one way to assist you in your process. Every set of circumstances is driven by its potential. What does that mean? If it's driven by its potential, and there's so many problems, why does it seem like problems show up when it's driven by the potential? Because that's how we get to the answers. They have to have problems. We're living in this dimension because we've got to have the problem so we can talk about it and discuss it and work it through. So don't get discouraged by the problems. Excited about the problems, because now we have something to solve. And you guys have a lot of answers. and by conversing about it and by sharing, we come up with new answers, and that's what it's all about. And everything is made of all that information and energy. Information manifests in 3 ways: a particle, a wave, and a creative intelligence. And these 3 forms of information are manifest in how we think, feel, and in the core essence of our being. Our core essence is colorful potential. Solutions to problems are found in the core essence of our being. Core essence. What is the core essence? Your core essence, your heart. Your heart, would you say, is the core essence? Your love, your intention. Well, information systems are constantly communicating all around us. If you go on the internet and look for and Google consciousness, you'll see hundreds of videos on consciousness, and you'll really I think enjoy that ride, because that's one link you could go to. There's many. You just go under Google consciousness and you'll find a slew of them. And there's so many things that are changing right now, because we're exponentially, like the computers are changing every 6 months. They grow and they're different. Our minds are doing it right now. We're growing so fast. So, it's exciting. That's what circular motion. Oh, there's the words for circular motion. Okay, there you go. Quantum equations and perplexing relations give knowledge and wisdom widespread. That's the most important part on that one. image of what is going on in the holodynamic understanding in the quantum coherence. We understand that we receive information with our eyes, our senses, and we get it in. The input is light, and then it transforms, and then we see the image of our eye just interprets that illusion, which is the illusion. That's why everything seems weird, because it's just an illusion. Understand that illusion, that it's not. It seems like it's not real. They found out that it's really not real. How can we say that it's not real when it's right here, physical? We can feel it, and we can see each other, and yet somehow they discovered that it's an illusion. Does that blow your mind to think about that? To think about how this is all an illusion? And yet we're here, hardened people. We could touch each other and feel each other as individuals. Well, it's great, because the central nervous system works too within our body, and it does it without our thinking about it. But actually, it's actually completely directly connected to our cells. Well, let's come over here. Then you got the way it comes down through the neurons, and then you see the DNA right here collects the information of. There's only 4. We know that there's only 4. Well, you guys know all of this science and biology, right? So I'm just going to go through. So just to kind of let you see it, that this is all hyperspatial information that is inside of us as well as outside of us in the quantum, cosmic field. And there is a coherence in it. And these tools, we got these tools, that to help us stay in our coherent realm. We've got the nanotechnology, we've got all the, water, the vortex water to coherently bring the water back to coherence. There's something about coherence that we want to put some attention to, and that's the quantum field, and the full potential is right behind the quantum field. And the holodynes all live right here in the microtubules, and the microtubules are in our cell. And then you can also understand that there is an implicate order. There's a real order to everything. And it's all happening, and there's the unmanifest and the parallel worlds. What could be parallel worlds? Multiple dimensions over there, and then it's right here in the manifest world where we're manifesting. So talking about the other worlds and integrating it with our life here is what holodynamics is all about. So there's a psychotherapy, holodynamics. They've found the recent discoveries in science, and they've applied it in psychotherapeutic techniques. There's a book that Dr. Vernon Wolf has. Here's a holodynamic mind model that when we are faced with real problems and we want real solutions, and we really want to find them and implement them, and we have to address the reality that consciousness is central to finding solutions to all of the problems of our physical, emotional, mental, spiritual life, and the whole world. And this mind model helps you to see it in another way when you understand that. We'll see how it works. So here, if you can imagine, if you take 1 cubic centimeter of air and you just take it, and you can, in 1 cubic centimeter, there's information, a lot of information. And one way that they've discovered how to understand it with our linear mind is that the particle dynamics are rational, and the wave dynamics are emotional, and you could see like that could be our wave dynamic of our emotional swinging on the pendulum. The holodynamic plane, that plane right there is our presence. And our family beliefs could be like right here. All of our family beliefs are functioning right here. Imagine everybody has different family beliefs, and that's what's running them along this plane. And we have our cultural beliefs down at the bottom, maybe, our cultural beliefs. And that's what's running us too. And understanding that this mind model, it explains our comfort zone thinking. Because we're influenced by our comfort. If we're comfortable in that, because our family was this, and our culture was this is our comfort zone. This is where we stand comfortably. And that's what's going to be running our life. But it's not really all there is. It's just what's running us. And there's 6 stages of development when you, in the holodynamic field of processing all these things out so that we can fully potentialize. And it goes from one step to the other. And there's our interest rate. And The relative position of holodynes identified on the plane is how we transform. Well, the game on the plane is mainly on this rain.
I was going to check to see if your battery is going dead here.
Okay,
We're getting some static.
we
here.
are?
And
Oh, we don't want that?
yeah, we don't want
Static.
static.
Oh. Just play the song and don't put the mic on, and I'll just sing it way back there.
Maybe that'll be better.
Huh? I do, okay. Okay, the next song is Joy and Pain. Now, joy and pain. We have a lot of pain in life, right? But we got to find the joy somehow. You know how we find the joy? I wrote this song when everything was going wrong. Everything. I can't tell you. We did the recording. We did a whole bunch of stuff, and we lost the keys in the car. Just tragedy everywhere. And I had to find the joy. So this is how I got this song. And you can, I'll sing it for you. How's that? Is that all right? Can you hear me? Because that one's not pre-recorded. So as soon as he plays it. Oh. It does? Okay, well, we'll come back to it. Let's go to the next thing. The ultimate level of reality and consciousness is unexplainable with our limited 5 senses. Illusion comes from how our mind perceives, but we can't really see it completely. We have to dig. So that's where treasures in the sand come in. We have to dig for those treasures in the sand, right? Because they don't show up with our linear mind, and they don't show up in the illusory world. They're hidden. That's why everything's metaphorical, and everything is, in the Bible even, is all metaphorical, and it's hidden, and you gotta look. But God, it's just right here in your heart. It's right there. So does the treasure in the sand come on? And then the let it go is, of course, things that we need to let go of in order to actually find the treasures in the sand. So I pre-recorded some of these songs at a time when my father was dying, and so I was taking care of him, and I was able to spend some quality time with my dad, doing some really wonderful connection with him before he passed, and I found a lot of treasures in that tragedy. That was a really sad time, and normally it's sad when somebody's dying. But when I thought how great it is for him to go on and graduate from this dimension and be with his mother once again, because he had lost his mother when he was 3, I was so happy for him. I was happy for him. Sad for me, but happy for him, and that was more important, that he got to finally be with his mom again. So sometimes we have to turn things around and find that treasure. So that's what that song is all about. And then guess what? Of all these things, I recorded that whole thing, and when I moved out of my house, somebody stole my hard drive, they stole my recordings. I lost everything. I lost all of my recordings that I had ever recorded, and these are just copies of CDs, and that's probably why he's getting in trouble, because they're just copies of scratched up CDs that I had. So I was never able to promote them because I didn't have the masters. So that's what happened. But that's what happens. Sometimes we have tragedy, and I had to keep going and make the best out of it, you know. So that's how come I found these tragedies. It's like you got the gift. There's a gift in every tragedy, and that's how we transmute. And it's because I transmuted the Holodynes, because the Holodynes I could have gone with the Holodyne that was saying, oh no, I lost my life and everything's gone down, drafting every possible thought and emotion because I lost my whole hours and years of life's recordings and everything. And I could have done that, but I did something else with it, and I found some treasures. So go ahead and play whatever shows up.
I don't think we have either of those.
Oh, you don't?
It's not on the CD and it's not on
Oh. Really? Well then, it's okay. Well, you guys can get it in another time. If you want it, I'll have the CD. I could make a copy on my computer, and then you could say, tell me you want the song, and I'll make a copy for you, a couple dollars for a song or something like that. Let's go on to consciousness and understanding it, because, you know, matter, we all know matter, frequency, coherent information, holographic, loving behaviors is all that matters. And then didn't Einstein, Max Planck said that there is no matter. If all matter originates and exists only by virtue of a force, which brings the particle of an atom to vibration and holds this most minute solar system at the atoms together, we must assume behind this force the existence of a conscious and intelligent mind. This mind is the matrix of all matter. And then Einstein says that solidity is a mirage. All around us is just a frequency. And if we amplify the frequency, the structure changes. And if it changes, that's how we change our transform, because we're amplifying the frequencies. Everybody, coherent information systems, super holograms, whole and complete. Do you understand all this stuff? You get it? Is it interesting to you?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. The substance of the universe is consciousness. Is it interesting to know how our behavior is important? Cool. Good, because I think it's awesome. I've been playing in this field for a long time. And then he goes to understanding things. This is your language here now. Electromagnetic fields is the physical field, and think of that as the space that we live in. It's produced by electrically charged atoms, depending upon the charges of the parts of the atoms within it. That's how you get, you know what kind of electromagnetic wave is traveling at the, electromagnetic waves travel at the speed of light, right? So the two sources of the electromagnetic field, you have the electric field produced by the stationary charges, the positive and negative voltages that don't move, and then the magnetic field that's produced by the moving charges. Okay, and is the higher the voltage, the stronger the field, right? So when you're using you're making your inventions and everything, and the higher the voltage and the stronger the field, what does that mean? The stronger the field affects the behavior of any other charged objects in the vicinity of the field. If it's the field that's affecting our behavior, and the force of the field holds the electrons and the protons and the atoms together, and atoms make the molecules, and the molecules make us. Our body is comprised of the matter and space, and matter is the energy moving as a wave. And we want it to be harmonic, and we want the waves to overlap, because when they're harmonic, we can get along with each other and we can overlap. But if they're not harmonic and they're out of sync, that's what destructive interference is called, and that's where they get the flat line. So anyway, this is all what we already know, but it's just a different way of putting it in a way of your language, electromagnetic, scientific language. And there's a third interaction, a new frequency created by two waves in the harmonic resonance with each other. When the electromagnetic fields it's comprised of photons, the elementary particles that are fundamental to our life. We're emitting photons. We are photons. That's why we could really say, in a sense, that we are light. Because in a sense, we are emitting photons. And that's why there's all these gadgets out there with photon light, and you want that photon energy. What is the photons are doing? Because, you know why? Because the photons, they don't interact with the parts that make you sticky, the sticky bonds, which create the problems, the physical disabilities and the physical problems. The physical problems in our body start with our mind, with our emotional perspectives, and then it starts to hit our body. Because if we're thinking about something, our body's going to respond to our thinking, and then we're going to start looking like we're thinking. Whatever's in our body starts to look like what we're thinking. Photons, particles of electromagnetic energy, having no mass or weight, no electric charge. They live indefinitely. So we're all eternal beings. And it has no electric charge because it carries the electromagnetic force. We carry that force by our life. And sometimes he's out there doing the finger reading out there with the light, Tesla light man. You could see your finger light. That's your photon light. You could see it. See, now it's not just talking about it, you could see it there. Our body gives off these photons, and they carrying the field and the wavelength. The frequency you radiate. The photons are the force carrier. You are the light. The real sense you really are. And when we're carried by these photons, the information into the environment, we carry that into the environment, and then as you exist within this wave, within this environment, we change the environment. Why are all these problems happening in the world? We could solve all these problems, sometimes the problems of the pollution and the wars, with our heart, with our love, with our thinking. If we just all did it at once, if everybody did it at once, we could do it. Because we know what it is scientifically. It's just we're affecting the environment by our actions. It's just that our actions have been really stupid because by throwing bombs and oil on the water and stuff. But the best part about all those problems is that we get to come up with solutions, and that means we get to use our creative intelligence, which bring those solutions on, and then we get to be more of who we really are. And it's kind of like this game. So which game do we want to play? If we want to keep playing the game of having to solve problems, or we want to play the game of having fun and enjoying life to the fullest. So if you change your identity, you change your environment. There's a reciprocal effect. Both are electromagnetic fields. Let's see, here's some forces we know about. The fields, the distribution of tiny field particles. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Everybody, the Heisenberg uncertainty principle is that we can't really know everything. We have to know that we can't know it all. And here we are as scientists trying to find out everything and why we can't. We have to give up on that sometimes and just let it be. And Higgs field says there's no empty space anywhere. It's all filled with quanta. What does that mean? If there's no empty space, but look at all this space here. And there's no empty space. What does that mean? There's no space? How come everybody's here and they all look like individuals? Because there's the quantum element. There's actually, if you looked at it in a microscope, you could see there's little tiny particles that are connected, are there, and they're on me, in me, and out, and connecting to every single person. So that's why we're all together. We're all one. Really, we're connected, only that we're individualized in that. Interesting, though, that the Higgs boson, the quanta of the Higgs field, it interacts with every particle except the photon, graviton, and gluon. So you guys want to play with these right here, photons and gravitons and gluons. That's what you want to play with, because you want to use those, because those aren't going to interact. It's the you understand what did you guys listen to Dr. Robin when she says that the photons are not interactive? That's why we can live in this world, because when you get infused with all these photons, we don't have to get stuck in the muck. We don't get stuck with our emotions. They don't connect, because everything around us, if you imagine it being holographic stars of David, a holographic star of David. You have the, oh no, she's not here, there you go. You have the holographic little geometries, right? The little geometries, okay? That's what we're made of. Our body is made out of all these holographic geometries. We're made of dodecahedrons, icosahedrons, and right? Our cells. You look on the elements on the periodic table. Every element has a shape, right? And that's what we are made of, all the shapes. So we're holographic. We're dimensional like that, because that's what we're made of. So that's why we're connected to all the little things around us too. So, and the wavelength and the frequency of the light is a measurement of the amount of energy. So that's just scientific information. We understanding that you know, here's another song. Does it play One Vibrational Family? So I guess what I'm trying to say here is, you know, from a holodynamic standpoint, we're all one vibration. So if the key is to accelerate the vibration, accelerate our light, because, yeah, what? Wow, I don't know, it's whatever's happening, that's not it. Turn it off, it's not it. Transforming our family history, our belief systems, and overcoming all the problems of our collective consciousness. That's what holodynamics helps you do. Because you can learn from a microscopic level, from our family histories. We're stuck in these belief systems that make us do certain things because of our belief systems. And some people, you know, our belief systems, don't try to, I'm not going to try to change anybody's belief system. Have you ever tried to change somebody's belief system? It's ingrained. It's hard to change those belief systems. They're anchored in there from years and years of historical holodynes of information that have been affecting the genetic life, you know, down the line. So it's hard to do it, but it's not that you can't. We can. I'm here to say we can. It's just hard. And that's why it's important information to learn, because you can learn how to transform those holodynes. And does it play it? Who would like to transmute their holodynes and their information systems? Huh? Anybody? Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know what? I know we all do here. We all want to change. We all want to grow. We want to be our best, don't we? It's possible. And you know what? And you're perfect just the way you are too. It's just like, this is the dichotomy of the fact that we're individualized, but we're one. Okay, I'm going to do an experiment here. I'm going to prove to you. If I could prove to you that we are one, would it change your life? Would you be able to go out and do something different in your life that you didn't do, that you didn't have the perspective of before, but you now will because you know something that you know on a deep level? Everybody think about your, the year you were born. Add the number of the year you were born to how old are you going to be this year. If you've already had a birthday, add that number, or if you haven't had a birthday, add the number that you haven't. How old are you going to be this year? And the year you were born. Add those last two numbers in your head. Mental math.
And everybody's the same.
And why? Is everybody, okay, everybody, at the count of three, everybody say your number. What's your number? 1, 2, 3. What's your number?
2000.
Oh, wait. Just the last two numbers.
Oh,
The last two, yeah, the last two. And then there's another number you forgot to carry over the 1.
It's supposed to be the same for everybody.
Why? What does that mean? Is everybody one? Is everybody a 111? Everybody is a 111. How is that possible? That everybody is a 111? We're all one. What else do we need to know we're all one? If we're all one, then there shouldn't be any judgment. There shouldn't be any jealousy. There shouldn't be any anger or any, am I talking too loud? Or any quarrels, because if I'm you and you're me, then why should I say you're wrong? You're just as right as I would be. And everybody's just as right. Everybody's ideas are just as valid. So, so that's why we really are one. So unity consciousness is okay, but then you have people who judge that. There's judgments. We've got to get rid of judgment. How would this world be if there was no judgments? If nobody judged each other, wouldn't we have in a twinkling of an eye a whole different world? If there were no judgments and no angers and no fears, no doubts, just trust and awareness and consciousness of the highest light. Wow. Well, the building blocks to understanding how our DNA creates you and creates what you experience, and how to expertly manage your dance of life is what holodynamics is all about. So definitely look up holodynamics and try to do something with it in your life and see how it feels. And it's all understanding that our feelings create our thoughts, and our thoughts create our reality, and reality, that is your personal field, and your field is going to create the environment. And how the field interacts with you consciously and subconsciously is also creating your feelings and your thoughts and your environment. And now, feel somebody else's electromagnetic field, and in their information systems. Feel each other's. See if we can just like look at each other and look at each other's field and look at each other's fullest potential self and experience that and sense it. Sense it. Can we do that? Can we notice how we're radiating consciously or unconsciously? Can we sense each other's full potential? Each other's source presence? Sense each other's full potential. Can you look at somebody right now? Just look at anybody. Turn to somebody and look at somebody else and sense their presence, their full potential. Sense their full potential, not any, yeah. Is it? Some people aren't looking at each other here. Are we playing this game together or what? Come on, look at each other, see each other. Oh, you're looking at me. Oh, that's true. Okay, that counts. Well, all right, let's do another one. I'm going to do another game. Here's another one. Let's all blow, this is real, holographic love bubbles to each other. Holographic love bubbles are created with our intention, and we go, take a deep breath, ready? And we go, we should measure it, keep going. Everybody go, and send it with your intention, it's a love bubble. And we're filling this whole room with love bubbles. Holographic, keep going. Your puff of life from your heart. Feel it. You're going to notice it. Notice it. You're going to feel. Keep going. Keep going. I want to hear from your heart. I don't see you doing it. And he's asleep, so that's okay. He's in the field already. Place of peace is a really valuable place to be. Keep going, because you know what? We're going to feel something different afterwards. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Right at the end, you'll feel it. Come on. Don't you feel it already? I know you do. Yeah? Okay. And you over there? You in the back? Mr. Quiet Steve Ellswick? Come on, let me hear your puff love bubbles. The man responsible for all of us being here, thank you. Yes, great honor and congratulations to Mr. Steve Ellswick for bringing us all together here in the love field. Come on, keep it going. Can we do it for 5 minutes? Keep going, because you will feel something different in the next 5 minutes. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I promise you. I promise you. I'll tell you why. While you keep doing it, I'll tell you why. You too. I'll keep going, keep going. I need to hear it, because that's how I know that you're doing it. So the reason that it's happening is because the same thing that we're all, dodecahedrons and icosahedrons and all the secret geometry within us. Do it. It's good for your heart. This is good for your heart, your blood. Push it out with your heart and your love and your intention. You're creating a field. You're adding to the field. You feel that extension to the field. Does it play does it play the one vibrational family? And that's what we're doing. Do you feel it? Who feels it? Who doesn't feel it? Difference. Nobody. Okay, so everybody feels something different? Thank you. Does everybody feel how that changes your field? You just pushed out, when you just pushed out that love from your heart, and then you actually added to the environment, you changed the field around you with holographic. You see, you don't believe me because you can't see it. If I had bubbles, that bubble machine, and you could see the bubbles, then you'd believe that the bubbles are here. The bubbles are here because you're making them like, well, just the same way you make a bubble with water and the soap and the air, you're making it with that. Now, the reason that is important is I wrote a song about that too. And I put it in a song because what it does is it's an activation. What do our cells need in order to be alive? They need to be activated. They need to be spinning. They need to be spinning, and the spin is going to give us the life force. We want that spin, that cellular spin. And so when you do that, you spin, and then if you intend to spin, it's even more powerful. And there's a code, there's a couple of interesting codes that I've learned through the Melchizedek method of transformation, and where we could actually talk to our DNA. And if you want to reverse your aging process, it's possible. They talk about it scientifically, and it's true. You can. I mean, I'm 150. You believe me? You don't? Okay, I'm 49. But still, you can if you. I started when I was 2. I started doing some reversing the aging process when I was like a teenager because I wanted to always stay young when I was. But you can start any time, and it's just talking to the information systems in your body, and you have to talk to them anyway if you want to be healthy. You have to talk to those cells. So anyway, but we got to know: are we building blocks? The building blocks of information are our consciousness, or are we building blocks? So sometimes it seems like we're building blocks because we're afraid or we have judgments or something, but well, we can transmute them with bubbles, with holographic energy system, and new information in the holographic field. And the holodynamics process is by tracking. When we track the holodynes, that's when they can evolve to their fullest potentials. And that's some key things that you'll learn in holodynamics. You're going to track the source of what guides your daily life. It's involved in accessing the heart of your information systems, the holodynes. And the holodynes are all causal. They all cause you to do something. They're causing everything. They're causing everything you do. And there's an implicate order to it. It's a built-in implicate order of our consciousness. And it does produce extraordinary results by overcoming the obstacles and unfolding our personal potential. That's what it does. There's a lady, Tony Elizabeth Sarah Petronovich, that has a nice little video on DNA, but you don't have the video either, so you'll have to look her up yourself. There's a lot of information on DNA that validates everything I'm saying scientifically. And when you understand the working environment of DNA, that you understand that the tools, understanding consciousness is the frequency and the wavelength and the electromagnetic field and the photons, then your fullest potential is right there, and it's non-local. Non-local. What, is it way far away? Yeah, because we're connected anyway, so it's all connected, so it doesn't matter. That's why psychic information is possible, because we can access information in a whole other dimension. Everybody here can access your full potential in a hyperspatial field. You know everything. Everybody here knows everything. If you're coming from the full potential, if you ask your full potential to speak through you, your full potential will speak through you if you ask, because it's our physical. We have to choose it here on Earth in this dimension. So if we say, okay, I call forth my fullest potential self. Well, at that moment, that's different than it was a second ago. Because now, everything you're thinking about, anything you want to know and anything you want to access, you can access it because you asked for it, so and then you will get it. You know this, right? Because you're so smart. Everybody here is so smart. You're inventors and scientists and people seeking more knowledge. So we go on, and we understand that it is non-local. And there's a sense, phase conjugate adaptive resonance, PCAR. That is another concept that can help you to understand how this all works. Because it's phase conjugate, and it's all working with our imagination, our creative imagination. That's so powerful. We could do anything with our imagination, whatever you want to do. If you think about it, on some dimension, you're probably already doing it in another dimension. So that's why you can, or somebody. And so, in the phase conjugate aspect that's why we could switch inside of our holodyne, or inside of our microtubules, the holodynes that are inside of there. They can phase conjugate into the new image. If you hold a different image, they'll phase conjugate into that image. So what images are you holding in your mind are important. They're really important. So, because, everything's the frequency, and everybody knows this, frequency, hertz, wavelength, amplitude, all of that is part of this aware. You all already know those things. I don't have to tell you what those are. Sometimes the amplitude is confused with phase. It measures a fractional part of the event cycle. It's not the entire cycle, but that's just so you understand that this is science here. I'm not just talking metaphysics. It's not metaphysics at all, even though it sounds metaphysical. When I talk about how your thoughts create, does it sound metaphysical? Because it's outside, but it's more than that. It's beyond that. Everybody take a deep breath right here. And just appreciate the empty space. And knowing that we already know everything. You already know everything. Breathe into that. The breath of life sinking into your awareness of all that you are wonderful, you're perfect just the way you are. And I know we all want to change, but you still are perfect even so. Because there's a reason why you're just like that, because that's what makes you you, and that's great. So it's okay, you don't have to change. But you will anyway, because we're all growing and expanding. And there's another video that shows you how DNA is non-local, and understanding, these are things that you guys can pursue on your own, which keep understanding how there's an entanglement, there's a superposition, which is inherent in our entanglement, and there's the PCAR again, the phase conjugate adaptive resonance, understanding anti-parallel states, and how does this all create the physical you? That's what consciousness is all about. And Einstein's theory is that the fastest movement possible in our reality is the speed of light at 186,000 miles per second. That was what he thought, but it's no longer valid. The speed of light isn't the fastest movement. We know now that there's an instantaneous quantum awareness, and it's non-local, and that's why we could do anything. And a particle can be everywhere at the same time. And the ability of one object to directly influence another object that is distant from it and the length of the distance has no bearing on the influence. We could affect somebody on the other side of the planet because we're quantum now, and we know that now. And the light is traveling by our intentions and what we think about. And so if we can just think about the highest possible image ever, always, just do that one. How about that? How would it be? Would that be fun? That would be fun, huh? Oh, good. Let's see. The Heisenberg Principle here again is if you know the position of a particle, then you cannot know its momentum and its movement, and that makes it a wave rather than a particle. Well, if you know its momentum and then you can't know its position, well, what does it matter if its position is? Everybody wants to know express their position, their judgment, their perspective. Well, it's been proven over and over and over again that an object in one part of the universe influences an object in another part of the universe. So that gives us full free range to do anything we want with it. There's a lot of there's some other scientists that have said that we're not limited by the laws of physics or space-time, and we're architects of our reality and our world and our bodies. The internal technology is being birthed now. It will replace the old belief systems that don't work. Our old belief systems don't work. Why, how do we know that they don't work? Because just look at the planet, look at the life. Is it working? Is it working? Yes or no? No. Some are, yeah. Some people are like you guys, some people are doing things that make it work because you're using your creative intelligence and you're trying to solve problems out of that creative intelligence. In that way, it's working. But the ones that are not working, the destructions and the other things, those are just belief systems. All they are is little holodynes. Can you imagine if everybody who caused the problem can get their holodynes all fully potentialized? This world would transmute in a twinkling of an eye. That's what the benefit of holodynamics is. So if everybody could just start practicing holodynamics and understand and start teaching everybody else about it, the whole dynamic that we're one and that we can transmute our old belief systems, and it is possible. We're programmed. Consciousness is massive, is like a massive computer operating system. We're programmed by our beliefs, coherent emotion. The quality can change our chemistry in our bodies, biology, and our DNA, and our physical reality. The living wisdom is still intact. We can reincorporate the new piece of higher consciousness into all the systems that creates peace, health, relationships, world peace into all nations. That's the intention. Let's breathe into that. Can we all agree that we want peace on this earth? Yes. Okay, can we all breathe into that? Take a deep breath in. Peace on earth. Yes. Can we all agree that we all want health on our bodies? Health in our bodies so that we can physically move around and be functioning at our better potentials here on earth? Can we all agree to that? Let's all agree to that together right now. Peace on health in everybody's body, mind. And then it's done. It's happening right now. It's physically happening because our prayers do work. The field is a quantum essence. Oneness is who we are. We're intelligent, coherent energy is a mirror of our thoughts, beliefs, our feelings, and our full presence. Quantum scientists have determined miraculous healings have occurred. Our greatest potential is possible, and holodynamics can show you some ways to access that. Global consciousness exists by holding the highest qualities of coherent thoughts, feelings, emotions, and the language of our heart and the mind and the brain affects our experience of a cellular immune system. It corrects our genetic historical things that we thought were in our genetics. We thought we were going to have, because our grandparents had a certain disease, we think that we were going to have that disease. No, that's not true. Dr. Bruce Lipton has proved that's not true. We don't have to inherit our diseases. Those are belief systems. And the belief systems are held on the collective consciousness. The collective consciousness is carried into the physical reality. So if the collective consciousness wouldn't hold that belief system anymore, somehow then people don't have to believe that anymore, so they can start acting in a healthier way. They don't have to act like they have cancer. They can act in a way because they're believing it. They don't know. We don't consciously know we're believing it. That's why we work with the Holodynes and the Microtubules, because we want to change them on an integral level. And it's hard to just say, okay, I believe it. No, I don't believe it. And then you think it's just one piece of the pie. It's not that simple. You got to really get into it and imagine, use your creative imagination, and that's what helps to do it, because our imagination will change it. If you think of something, you will change it. If you think of it hard enough, you will change it, because you'll change the molecular image. And the images are what changes it, because it transforms in the illusions of our mind and our consciousness. So is this okay? Is it interesting to you? Yes. You want to know more? All right. The language of the heart is important. The mind, the brain affects our cellular immune system. We have two wrong assumptions. This is what we have on this planet, that we think that everything was separate from everything else, and that what happens in one place has no effect on what happens on anything else. And if it looks like that, it's a coincidence. That's a wrong assumption. And that our inner experiences, our thoughts, feelings, and emotions have no effect on the world beyond our bodies. That's wrong assumption. That's old thinking. That's why we have so many problems in the world. So if we all can choose appreciation, gratitude, care, forgiveness, compassion, we can be mirrors of that coherent information. on a collective consciousness. And if we can practice that every day, maybe that's what the twinkling of an eye is all about. Notice that there's a collective resonance. And when one person chooses a new option, that person becomes a living bridge of a new possibility for others to use as a template. And we can all learn from that and from their experience. Understanding there's 4 tenets, the unity consciousness. There's only one here. We're holographic in nature. It's a pattern of whole and completeness. It's also part of our greater pattern. There's non-physical energy or physical matter. The cells are all holographic by nature. One change is also mirrored throughout. And so that unity conscious is moving collectively to this rare moment in history. We have direct access to these creative forces, and the science of compassion may help us to access that and transcend everything a little bit more gracefully. So the science of compassion is key. Here's another scientific model that Dr. Stuart Hameroff and Roger Penrose have displayed. They show quantum consciousness is orchestrated objective reductionism. They say that quantum coherence is in our brain, is in our microtubules. They confirm there's somebody different that confirms that it's in our microtubules. They confirm it that there's something happening in the microtubules, they say, and that they say it's orchestrated reductionism is a model for consciousness because inside of our cells, inside of our microtubules, in the cell, if you look at it, it will change. They change by your thoughts. And Dr. Emoto also found some research that he took water from all over the planet in its stagnant form, and he looked at it under a microscope and he saw that it was all nebulous, ugly, if it was bad. And when he starts to think love and send prayers of healing into that water molecule, they saw it in the microscope, and on a microscopic level, they could see how it starts to change into that crystalline, sacred geometric forms. And they're clear. You could see the clear lines of sacred geometry. So the sacred geometry is in the water molecules. And the microtubules are in the water molecules. So the water, that's water. The water is key. So drink a lot of water. Okay? Okay, well, that's holodynamics, and we are living in a holographic reality, and there's spinners of information in the microtubules, and they're all causal. We know that, and we're all functioning with our fullest potential and the universal laws of forgiving. Oh, how about Forgive Yourself? Can you play that one, John? Forgive Yourself is another song that kind of sums it all up, because it's kind of another way to do it. Okay. Applying all the universal laws of forgiveness. Does it play? That's probably the easiest way to access all that stuff, is by just going straight to the forgiveness. And that applies, that implies that we're using all these universal laws. The laws of love, mercy, gratitude, respect, tolerance, awareness. You can look all these universal laws up in the looking them up on the internet. Looking up universal laws is fun. Reading all of them is really interesting because you see the word, but it's really more than just that word. There's a lot more to happiness than happiness and change. And whenever you want to play Forgive Yourself, I'll stop talking. Okay. But that gives you some idea of how you can apply the science of consciousness is with forgiveness. And it's easy to access that realm when we're in forgiveness mode, when problems happen. Because then we don't have to judge each other. There it is again. Breathe into that. Let's all have an ah experience. That's the thing. The place of peace where you have the is where you can change all your microtubules. If we can find that, access that place of peace every day, Our microtubules will change. And if whatever we want to get rid of, we can. Whatever we want to enhance, we could do that too. So do you want to have better sex? Who wants to have better sex? That wakes you up, huh? Huh? If I could show you how you can have better sex, would you all wake up here and like say yes to that? Yes. Who wants to have better sex? Come on, raise your hand. Oh, everybody, do I get a unanimous vote on better sex? All right, now I got your attention. Should have said that first. Well, you can do that because when your relationships are all working right, you're going to have better sex. And if you can have your relationship in the inside working right, then that's going to help your relationship on the outside.
Leah, there's unmarried minors in the crowd.
Only if you're married. She knows better. And she comes in right when I'm talking about that. My daughter, right at the time I'm talking about that part. Well, one day, when it's the right time, you will have better sex too. You will have to be married though first and there's the holodynes. Okay, here's the holodyne, here's the holodynamic process, understanding the old belief systems. Belief systems, the paradigms that we live in under the collective consciousness of acceptability and cultural norms and acceptance. Well, that's one of the belief systems that we're trained to have. Well, that's a holodyne. That's a holodyne. So we could understand that we're living within the holodynes and we're playing with the holodynes and we're working with the holodynes, and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't work. And when they don't work, we can evolve them to their fullest potential. Integrity and respect. See, if you go back to that, you don't have to worry about that, because if you have respect and tolerance and integrity and you have all these things that you're working with the universal laws of love and mercy, then, everything is happening in its perfect divine way. So, so be sure that your holodynes are fully potentialized so that all your relationships are optimally functioning. And make sure that your microtubules are communicating at their fullest potentials. Here's a picture of a microtubule. Oh, wow. Now, you see what's inside of you? This is inside of your cells. These are stimulating formation systems to a more functional full potential is to have transformation of your holodynes. Here's the PCAR, the image of how one holodyne, here's the holodynes. They're on this microtubule, that tube, and that tube is connected to the neuron. There's the neuron sending information into the holodynes from your family belief systems, from your religious beliefs, from your cultural beliefs. All this is information coming in, and it's talking to your cells, and there's a macrotubule, and it does something. Here it does that, it does that, and does that, and that's what it does. And then if that's not working, you could change it, and then it could be that. And it's all in our protein qubits too, and it's in the water molecules. So that's what's happening inside of us. There's another image of the microtubule. You see the dendrites, and you see the neuron. That's the neuron. And there's the microtubules, all of them. They're all in there. And they're all information systems, spinners of information coming from all of our family beliefs and all of the other things that here's another one, microtubules in the cytoskeleton. The microtubule structure, the X-ray crystallography, the tubulin subunits are 8 nanometers long. That's how big they are. They're really little. 8 nanometers. And there's little dimer switches right here that compose the okay, so then you have another image of the microtubule. When you have an image, when you have one thing that doesn't work, say, let's see, what doesn't work? Like say, fear or anger. What's the worst problem you can possibly think of that you personally have that we could phase conjugate right now? One person volunteer to tell me what, if you want to phase conjugate it, your holodyne. The worst problem. Or the worst, yeah. Lack of allowance.
In other words, are the microtubules glowing light?
Are they glowing light? Is that the holodynes are the spinners of information?
But isn't information already spinning? I mean, in other words, if the microtubule was to change, wouldn't it change in a way that would allow the spin to take its natural course? In other words, less resistance
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, he brought up the point of resistance. The resistance is very important because that's what happens. Everything, all the information is spinning, and they know that they're spinning. And then if we are run by the holodynes that are controlling our actions by our belief systems, by our family history, by all of the different things, then they're going to spin one way, and they're going to be in one shape. But if those beliefs could be transformed into a recognition of their fullest gift, of whatever the real gift is, not the, like when I lost all my music, when I lost everything, that didn't seem like a gift to me, but we'd find the gift. So when you have a new image, then it changes, and the PCAR occurs. It changes the new image, and then it creates a new microtubule, a new image inside the microtubule, and then your actions are gonna, and your life and your environment, and everything changes after that. Here's another beautiful artistic image of a peace, harmony, and purity as a holodynamic kind of microtubule. Here's another one, consciousness awakening creates a disturbance, and you're talking about the disturbance, the resistance. That resistance is okay, and that resistance is part of what helps us to push through, you know. Yeah, and here's one way we understand that is earthly polarities are uniting into a unity consciousness now, into peace, forgiveness, compassion, love, and rebirthing. We're creating a new paradigm on earth now, with new ways of responding to the great challenges of life. If we remove guilt, shame, blame, doubt, fear, hate, judgments, negative emotions, retribution, killing and warfare, transforming any of these are what we call downdrafted choices, allows one to choose the higher path so that the others also can choose and be mirror to that greater potential of possibilities. How's that sound? Sounds pretty good, has a greater potential of possibilities. Here's one image that helps you get there quicker. I mean, these are some images that are kind of cool. There's a light image of a greater possibility. Some images, if you just breathe into an image that just looks like light, and you know, and then you just let all those things that we needed to let go. Well, the new worldviews by living in a planetary consciousness. How about, can you play forgiveness or piece by piece? Can you play one of those? Either forgiveness or piece by piece. Or you can play. If we woke up every day and we just talked to ourselves with our higher self, we would have a different conversation with everybody, you know, just because if you're talking from a place of your higher self, or from a place of if you're coming from a dimension that's filled with all those memories of bad memories, if you're coming from there, then that's your conversation. But if you're coming from your full potential, you're not going to have that conversation. You'll have a different conversation, right? So that's what it starts from within the one heart of each soul, from a microscopic level to a macroscopic level. Trust, I trust, and then peace shall prevail. Yes, I do trust that peace will prevail. Peace will prevail on earth. And here's one way, if you hear something that tells you that now that I am awake with my higher self, I love every breath I take. All the laws of the land in accordance with the universal peace in which I stand. My body, mind, and my soul are safe, healthy, balanced, and whole. And then it's piece by piece. And my soul are safe, healthy, balanced, and whole. Breathe into that safety. I am awake with my higher self. Love every breath, loving everything you take in. Are vitally supporting all zones. My body, mind, and my soul are safe, healthy, balanced, and whole. My body, mind, and my soul are safe, healthy, balanced, and whole. All the matter inside and outside of every molecule of peace, within every cell, every piece of my body, mind, and spirit, soul, emotional and mental and spiritual, etherical, and way beyond the things I just don't have to understand. But I allow myself to trust in the natural flow of the universe in which I stand. I usually abide in all the laws of the land, and the universe is on my side, holding my hand. Each day when you are awake, much more to appreciate. So get up and put a smile on your face, into the world and create. Feel that? Piece by piece. You can turn it down. You can just slowly turn down. Okay? Slowly turn down. Piece by piece. Finding each moment filled with love, infused with all the pieces within and around me. Everywhere I go, I choose my glorious life, sharing my joy, surrounded by roses and the Venus violet sky, with Aubrey Cloud 9, Kanalu shines, Mary Vincent at a time, robotic designs, melt up, you can turn it down, long and it lies. So I keep on affirming all of nature at its best, and forgiving all the rest. I know our purpose is more. We're all connected at the core. Every soul in the world, more valuable than gold. I'm so thankful for it all. The people I adore. Please forgive me when I fall. I'm still working on myself. Piece by piece, still working on myself. Every little step at a time. Piece by piece, I'm still working on myself. Every little step at a time. In your whole mind, starting with our mind. Working on myself. Step of the way makes us closer each day. I'm still working on myself. Piece by piece. Thank you. Piece by piece. I'm still working on myself. And they found that when we measure the human emotion, the heart field is the strongest generator of both electrical and magnetic fields in the body. Changing either field of atoms changes the physical world. The human heart can change both fields 100 times stronger than electrical power. We're all looking for electrical power, and we want electrical power, because it's good. But the heart is 5,000 times stronger than magnetics. And we know how powerful magnetics are. And they're powerful, and they can change. We know how they can change. They could create gold. We know that, right? So, right? Well, you know, if we can use magnets to create gold, and our heart is 5,000 times stronger than magnets, what can our heart create? Can create more gold than all of that. And it's all in response to our emotions we create in our heart and our brain by creating the feelings in our hearts. And we're arranging them all in patterns, and we're mirroring all these, the higher purposes in each other in every way with love, compassion, and absolute. All of this is with our own choice to allow our will to choose those consciousness. And it changes our DNA And our DNA restructures itself with the 12 strands, and I know I got to hurry up. So I'm going to go real fast. And it's all over. But you got to play the activation. You have to play the last song. That's why I really want you guys here, because you guys, you know how important you are. You guys have put up with me talking this whole time, and you stayed in here, and you know what? You're going to get something here, something more than valuable than gold, because I'm going to give you a cellular activation. It's a cellular activation. It's a holodynamic, holographic activation that's going to turn your cells, when they were spinning over here at one point like that, there's a triple hologram image. There's a triple hologram. If you imagine a hologram, and the hologram spins, a hologram means spinning around your body. It's also spinning around every single cell of your body. It's spinning. We're going to triple. Okay, the first hologram around each cell spins to the left, and another one spins to the right, and then another one on top of that spins to the left. So you have triple hologram of love. And that's going to be activated with this next song. And if you can imagine that that's what's happening when we're going to do this. And we're going to go. I'm going to give you the keys. The keys are 13, 20, 33. Triple Merkabah activate. Inhale. And we're going to do that. And we're going to do that. Everybody do that. Because that pa is activating the triple hologram inside each one of our cells. And that cell, it spins. And we're going to now command the cell to spin 33 times the speed of God. 33, because 33 is the master number. And so we want 33 times the speed of God. And we could tell it to spin in ways to, spin at your mastery. So then you go, it's going to play it. And when it does it, you can do it. You can go 13, 20, 33. Triple Merkabah activate. Inhale. Yes. So you all just activated your Merkabahs inside of your body. Every single cell of your body is now spinning more than it's ever been before. Now, you have that imprint. And the reason 13, 20, 33 is a key, it's a code, because we are walking 13, 20, 33s. We have 13 major joints in our body. 13, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, with the back of our head. So every joint, you know how they call it the major, the tree of life in the Merkabah, and the tree of life technology, it's all 13. 13, 12 apostles, Jesus Christ, 13. There's a lot of power in 13. And I had 13 songs for you to play, and in here, and 13, just by miraculous. Okay, 20. We mostly have 20 fingers and toes. Can you play the Merkabah song? Magnify.
Ours are just about to leave
Oh.
the machine. Everything's going to shut down because it's reached its limit.
It did. Did I go over 7 minutes? Well, the triple Merkabah activation, you have to get it. You have to get it. I have it on my computer. You have to come, and I'll have to just magnify the love. The magnify the love. Right. And I'm also doing your left and right brain synchronization. And when you hear it, you might not know which one to follow, but it's following left and right sides of your brain are activated. And I'm also talking to your hypothalamus and your pineal gland and pituitary gland and all the glands that make you your fullest potential. I'm going to sit down and enjoy that with you. My heart with violet light and silver waves to every part. I let the light illuminate and clear my heart with violet light and silver waves to every part. A violet light and silver ray to every part. A violet light and silver ray to every part. 13, 20, 33. Time space continuum. Activate triple hologram. The light illuminate and clear my heart with violet light and silver rays to every part. A violet light and silver ray to every part. A violet light and silver ray to every part. 13, 20, 33. Time-space continuum. Activate triple hologram of love. Merkabah, activate. Phase lock, disk expand. Accelerate, rotation. 33 times the speed of God into the golden cosmic realm. 13, 20, 33. Leo-esh, Leo-esh. 13, 20, 33. Leo-esh, Leo-esh. Accelerate, spin into the white lights of the God source. 13, 20, 33. Leo-esh, Leo-esh, Leo-esh. I let the light come in and magnify the love. I let the light come in and magnify the love. Let peace instill a loving will. Let peace instill a life-giving thrill. Let peace instill a centered free will. Let peace instill love's guiding will. Let peace instill. My body, mind is healed. Let peace instill. To forgive I will. Let peace instill love's guiding will. Life-giving blood lights up the spine, up and down, oscillating waves of rhythmic sound. One peaceful brain magnetizes others all the same. To harmonize a best field in colors range. Let peaceful tones be interchanged. I let the light come in and magnify the love. I let the light come in and magnify the love. God speed the light to every cell through our heart. Activate wisdom into our glands with thought commands. Let pituitary unite with pineal, thyroid, spleen. Hypothalamus be renewed. Light and green adrenal things. Blue thymus awakened by dreams. I let the light come in and magnify the love. I let the light come in and magnify the love. I let the light come in and magnify the love. My loving will. Let peace instill love's guiding will. Let peace instill her loving will. Thank you for being here.
Ladies and gentlemen, Leah Davis. Thank you very much, Leah.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you.
Okay, groceries are served. The social is in the pavilion, just out these double doors to my right.